I remember sitting by the window, tracing the silver paths of rain, thinking that the glass was the only thing standing between me and the world. Back then, I had this atlas of Sundays. I believed that once I was tall enough to reach the top shelf, I'd be tall enough to outrun the shadows in the hallway. I thought my heart was a compass that would always point toward the horizon, if only someone would unlock the front door. My childhood wasn't made of bricks and mortar. It was made of not yet and because I said so. Every dream I had felt like a bird trapped in a shoebox, plenty of wings, but no room to flap them. I drew routes to cities that didn't exist, places where the air didn't taste like permission. I practiced speaking in a tone that didn't shake, preparing for a life where I wouldn't have to ask if I was allowed to be happy. I spent years watching the minute hand, treating every birthday like a prison sentence being served, waiting for the day the gate would finally swing open. But here's the thing about waiting to be free: you spend so much time looking at the exit that you forget how to inhabit the space you're in. I was a child who was never quite there, because I was always trying to be after. I wanted to do everything. I wanted to stay up until the stars got tired. I wanted to walk until my shoes wore thin without a voice calling me back to a house that felt like a cage. I had so much hope, a fierce, desperate kind of hope, that the real me was waiting just past the property line. I didn't realize that by the time I finally got the keys, I'd be too tired from the waiting to actually drive anywhere. Now, when I look back at that kid, I don't see a dreamer. I see a small architect building a life out of if-onlys. The tragedy isn't that they held me captive. The tragedy is that I grew up believing that my life could only begin when their watch ended. I traded my wonder for a calendar, counting down the days until I could breathe, only to realize I'd been holding my breath so long that I forgot how to take a full one. I am free now. The doors are open. But sometimes, I still find myself standing in the threshold, waiting for a permission that is never going to come. The door finally clicked shut, and for the first time, no one was on the other side to tell me why I shouldn't leave. I stood in the middle of a room that was entirely mine, no ghosts of expectations, no, not until your chores are done. But the air here is heavier than I imagined. I thought freedom would feel like a sprint, a sudden burst of adrenaline through a field of possibilities. Instead, it feels like standing in the middle of the ocean. I can go in any direction, yet I find myself treading water, waiting for a current to tell me where north is. I can buy the cereal with the bright colors now. I can eat it for dinner at 3 a.m. But I stand there staring at the shelf, my hands shaking, still hearing the lecture about nutrition and waste echoing in my skull. The house is quiet, but it's not the peaceful quiet I dreamed of. It's a loud, ringing silence that asks, well, what now? I have the car, the gas, and the road. But I realized I spent 18 years learning how to escape, and 0 years learning where I actually wanted to go. It turns out that when you are held captive for so long, the rope doesn't just disappear when they let go of the other end. You carry the frayed edge of it around your neck, dragging it behind you. I am an explorer who finally reached the edge of the world, only to realize I'm afraid of heights.